Hey guys, and welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I am joined by the lovely Natalia from Permanent Makeup Cardiff. So thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you for having me today. It's a
So,
pleasure.
pleasure is ours. I'm super excited to talk with you today, especially having seen your Instagram and your work and the work that you do. It's absolutely amazing, beautiful work.
Thank
So yeah, lots I'd like to ask you about, but I think we should get started with how did you get to where you are today? How did you set up your business? What got you into semi-permanent makeup specifically?
Oh, I think this is a quite a long story, to be honest. Back in the day when I was in school, when you got like your notebooks or books or whatever, and you just scribble on the back when you're like bored a little bit in the class. So
Yeah.
basically, for me, it was always like an eyebrows, an eye with like a little wing as well, and lips. This is what I was just drawing when I was like bored, basically. And it was just like in back of my mind, basically, and I call it like a higher calling as well. Like I knew I would be good in this. Like I really wanted to start, and just I was so excited. So basically, I booked my first training in Poland. So I had to travel from UK to Poland for my 5 days training. And when I got there and I hold the machine for the first time, and I just was like, oh my God, this is what I'm gonna love. And was just super excited. And obviously I finished my training, came back to UK, set up everything, and it's just cracked on straight away. So I just started like advertising my business on Facebook, like all the possible like
Mm.
pages, websites, and everything. And I started getting my first clients. And then I set up like my 5 years goal, basically, where I want to be in 5 years' time. So I had like three main goals, which was like to have clients outside of my city to will be traveling just for me to get the eyebrows done with me or eyeliner or lips. The second one was to open my own place, and the third one was to open the academy. So it's been 5 years, and I ticked all the boxes basically. So I'm very happy.
Oh, amazing. I mean, I love that you said it was like your calling, that you were kind of like
Yeah.
meant to do that. And you've done what you set out to do by already achieving the goals for yourself, which is amazing. As I said previously at the beginning, your work is very specific. It's beautiful. I was looking at I think it was the shaded eyeliner that you do,
Oh yeah.
which is very different to anything I've actually seen before. So I'm wondering how you kind of developed your own style with regards to, I mean, specifically the eyeliner, but all of the services that you offer.
So with eyeliner is actually a funny story as well, because I haven't been trained specifically in this eyeliner. So everything I developed by myself. So only training I've done was just for the classic eyeliner, which is like a classic wing. But personally, I love it. I love doing that. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted something more natural, more softer. So once I remember I had a client, and my client was like, you know what if we would do something a little bit different, like a little bit smudge eyeliner? I was like, all right, you got me here. So I started like, creating something different, like combining basically eyebrow technique on an eyelid, and just like trying to make something similar, because the eyelid is very thin, so we have to be very careful as well. And the final results were like just outstanding. When I posted on Facebook, people just went crazy and just started booking for eyeliner. I was like, okay, so I think it's gonna be my thing. So I just started like, developing more my technique and get it just better and better. And yeah, it was just like my favorite part as well, eyeliner.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's absolutely beautiful, lovely technique. And the
Thank
fact that you've developed that yourself is amazing. Um, Speaking of clients, then, how do you find it is with the semi-permanent makeup, getting clients and retaining clients? Because obviously, the time between treatments is much longer than it would be for other aesthetics like Botox,
Yeah.
filler, things like that. There's like a year to 2 year gap potentially. So how
Yeah.
do
So
you kind of keep those clients coming in?
So basically, on the consultation, I always ask my clients Like, because I work on two different types of pigments, so I will have to dive a little bit deeper right now. So basically, there are pigments which last longer and the other pigments which fade a little bit faster. So
Right.
on a consultation, I am letting them choose as well. So they're going to be aware what is in the skin and how often they have to come back for the top-ups, basically. So if they would choose the top-up, the pigment, which is a little bit softer, I would say, and fade a little bit faster. So they are already aware they need to come back in a year time to maintain their eyebrows. Otherwise, they would just like basically fade and just disappear. So they are like, so I have to make them aware, basically, they need to come back for the annual top up. So it's not tattoo, it's not permanent, it's supposed to fade, basically.
Yeah, I understand that. So I suppose then for potentially people that want to get into semi-permanent makeup and providing that as a new service for them potentially, what advice would you give them for finding clients specifically for semi-permanent makeup?
I think social media in your portfolio. You have to build beautiful portfolio and you have to be consistent. So people, when they will be scrolling through your Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, they will see like a certain style. So like you are like consistent in your job. It's not like one eyebrows will look like this, one eyeliner will look like that. Obviously, you can do a little bit different, let's say, not technique, like I don't know how to explain that, just to make a little bit different for the client, but obviously the technique maintained the same. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think that's the main goal when I look for the artist or like to get, I don't know, my lips done or whatever. I want to see someone to be consistent and have a beautiful portfolio, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And that's really what I recognized with your social media, specifically Instagram. Your content is amazing. And like you say, it's regular, it's I say the same in the same style, but as you mentioned, different for each client depending on what they want. Um, and I think social media is definitely the way to kind of get that instant recognition. Along with that, I also know that you have been nominated for some awards,
Oh
which
yeah.
is amazing. That's fantastic. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I think it happened just like that. So basically, I've seen, I don't know, it was an ad maybe on Instagram or maybe someone applied and I saw it. So I wanted like applied as well. But when I received an email to apply, I didn't. I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna be nominated. I'm not gonna win. It's just like, the self-doubt about myself. And 2 months after, when they were closing the dates about the application, they sent me the reminder to put my application in. And I was like, okay, Natalia, let's do it. So I just wrote everything from the bottom of my heart, obviously. And 3 days later, I got an email, I've been nominated. I was like, okay, that's very unexpected. Thank you. Yeah, so it was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And moving forwards, then, is that something that you'd like to continue doing, like going forward for these awards and hopefully be like nominated, potentially win at some point? Is that in
That's
your new plan, or is it just a kind of one-off thing?
that's actually in my new, like, not maybe 5 years goals, but this is my like a new goal to step up on my comfort zone. So what I'm doing today with you is like a massive step. You have no idea how big. Like, because I'm an introvert and doing something like that, it costs me a lot. And I know if I will do it with you now, it's gonna be like nice steady road for me now, hopefully. And I'm planning to apply for more like competitions and stuff because I think I have to get out over there, show myself so people will be aware I'm actually existing, because I was living like in my little bubble and just like not even being aware who is working around me like any other artist, which is like maybe good and a bad thing in the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. And well, we really appreciate you being on the Face It podcast. So thank you very much
Oh,
for stepping out of
no
your
worries.
comfort zone with us. I wonder then, as you mentioned, kind of about connecting with people around you, is that something that you tend to do, or do you prefer to kind of just, stay in your lane and focus on your own work? Or are you interested in connecting with other artists in the area or even, around the UK, around the world? What's your stance on that?
I think I want to be more connected to people now, because it's actually makes my eyes open as well. Like, you can find out new techniques, like different points of view, like you can actually meet people and connect. That's beautiful. So I've done it recently. I've been on a like PMU conference or beauty camp or something like that. We had a like little party and everything. It was just like a different vibe I never experienced, and it was just nice. And I was like, okay, I have to do it a little bit more often and just enjoy it basically.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes it can be quite lonely in the industry,
Yeah.
maybe, and we'll get caught up comparing ourselves to other people's work and people's
Yeah.
clients and things. So sometimes it's okay to kind of talk to other people and share the good parts and the difficult parts, and
Yeah.
share advice and, like you say, techniques potentially. So it's always nice to feel that there are other people.
Yeah, it feels nice. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's quite difficult, especially on social media, like when you're scrolling and you can see all the like edited works, and
Mm.
people will be like, oh, her eyebrows are looking so perfect, I will never achieve something like that. And you won't, because it's edited. And people have to be more aware, like it's more and more edited photos, even videos these days, which is so dangerous. And we have to be aware of that. Like, I try to edit as not edit a lot, like, you know, to like remove some pimples or something. I would do that, but not like to edit my work. That's bad. So
Yeah.
even when I post, usually on my page, it's just mostly videos, so people can see my pure raw work as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, actually. Like you said, videos, you can't really
Yeah.
change shapes of things and things like that on a video. So people know that is the work they're getting. Whereas, like you mentioned, with
Yeah.
photos, people are, editing them, which ultimately you're not going to have that client come back if your work isn't as good as you're pretending that it is on social
That's the
media.
thing. Yeah, because they will bring the photos on your social media and then will be like, I want something like this, but you cannot give them. So that's a bit tricky for the client and for you, because you're selling something what is not real.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And like you said, it's something that both other practitioners and the clients need to be aware of that people are doing. So I always think it's beneficial to look at people's tagged work as well, because the
Okay.
clients who are posting pictures of themselves, for example, aren't going to think to edit it. So if you go on a page's tagged photos,
Oh, that's clever.
often their real
Yeah.
work is there compared to potentially what might actually be on their
Yeah.
main page. So that's always a good tip for potential clients to see real people posting that
Yeah, yeah.
person's work.
They read the reviews as well, like a lot of reviews, because normally when my client want to book, they message says like, oh, after seeing your reviews, I want to book with you. So I know they are important, and I have to ask my clients to write the reviews, which I don't like, you know, chasing people about that. But I know it's working. So the reviews, like portfolio, is like very important for the beauty business.
Yeah, that's some really good advice, actually, because I think people forget the power of reviews.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if I feel as a client and a customer of some people, that if they've done a good job, I do want to give them a review. So I think there's no shame, nothing to be embarrassed about by asking people politely, please, can you also drop me a little 5-star?
A
That's
little.
always good. Something big that I wanted to ask you about was
Yeah.
the training that you
Oh
do.
yeah, the
I
training.
would love for you to tell us a bit more about that.
So I started like training recently, because I was getting like more and more messages if I'm training and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I will get into it. And obviously I got my accreditation and everything. And I've done just a couple training this year. And I put a pause now to the end of the year, because I know it's very busy with my clients. So I want to just make sure everyone gets their eyebrows done and eyeliner and lips. And after New Year, I will be doing one basic training a month, which is like 4 days or 3 days. And yeah, I have to release some date on my socials, and hopefully I will get bookings for the trainings as well. I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
that's super exciting. I suppose another part of your, as you said, not 5-year goal, but maybe 3 to 1 year
Yeah.
goal is to get the new type of clients in, people that are wanting to train in semi-permanent makeup.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Do you have any advice then for people that are looking for academies or training facilities? Anything they should be looking out for to know they're going to get kind of the best training experience and the best service?
So based on my own experience, so when I choose an artist, I always look for the healed results. I don't care where they are. I don't care about the price. If I will see a good healed results, I know that that person is aware of their work and how they do that. Because the healed results, this is what we care about. So when you're gonna see all the beautiful eyebrows after the treatment, and then you're not gonna see any healed results on their socials, that's a red flag. Because you care about what's gonna happen after the healing process, how they're gonna look during that process when they already healed. Obviously, it's important how they're gonna look after the treatment as well, but the main thing is are the healed results of eyebrows or lips or of the eyeliner as well.
Yeah, definitely. So what would you say that people then, in terms of healed results, need to kind of look out for? Because there's a difference, like you said, between when you first have them done to them healing. Like, what's the time process between what you would then say, oh, this is fully healed now, and what you should be kind of looking out for?
So I think, so when they're coming back for the top up, you can already see how your work looks like. Obviously, you're not going to see them after the top up, not the first treatment, sorry, and you're not going to see them after the top up. But when they're gonna come back after a year for the annual top up as well, you will see how your work looks like as well. And then you will see again after another top up and after another top up. So you got that experience and you are aware and you can predict what's going to happen in a year's time or 2 years' time as well.
Yeah, that's always helpful to have that regular kind of review, I suppose, of your work. And I guess then for people who are starting out in semi-permanent makeup, and again going back to the training that you will be providing, which is fantastic, what sort of kind of support is available maybe from you, for example, or places you could recommend people to go for when they finish training with you?
And what do you mean, like places to go?
So sometimes going back to kind of feeling lonely in the industry, when people have finished training, it's that panic of, oh my gosh, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Who do I speak to or get support from? I wonder if your training kind of...
Yeah, so obviously they will get support from me, like 24/7 maybe, and 365 days a year. I'm always there for them because I know I've been there and I know how hard it is. I mean, if you will set up your goal, you will go there, you will achieve anything as long as you're gonna believe in this. But some people just don't believe in themselves, which is very sad because you can do anything you want. Just believe in this. Trust me. It's hard, but you will get there.
Yeah, I mean, amazing advice. And just hearing how you created your goals and then you managed to achieve them all, and now you have new plans and new goals, is really motivating for people listening. Like I say, new people in the industry, especially, who potentially doubt themselves. I wonder then, just to round up the podcast, what advice you may give other people who do doubt themselves, and a bit worried to try something new in the industry. What would you say is like your top advice to be part of the industry?
Just keep going. Just keep going. Embrace your mistakes. They are your lessons. Just take the lesson in and just keep going. It's hard. You will have like sleepless nights, trust me, but you will get there. And the most beautiful part is just that experience when you're gonna get from all the journey of the semi-permanent makeup.
Yes, amazing. Well, thank you so much. Before we leave, would you like to let us know where we can find you on social media and in real life?
So I'm based in Cardiff, not far from centre, and you can find me on my socials on Facebook and Instagram. I do have a TikTok as well, but I don't use it that much. So if you would like to find me on Instagram, it's Permanent Makeup Cardiff, Natalia Urbanska. And you can find me also on Google's if you would like to visit my website, and Urbanska PMU Co UK.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Natalia, for joining us on the Basic podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.